All right, we are on lesson 43, which is conversions. So, and that just means that we are converting either a decimal to a fraction or a percent. So, not like metric, meters to yards, ounces, feet, that kind of stuff. All right, so then we are going to do 4 problems or 4 different conversions. So the first one is 0.125, and we're going to convert that to a fraction. So we know that 0.125 means 125 over 1,000. Tenths, hundreds, thousandths place. So we have it 125 over 1,000, and then we have to reduce it. And it reduces down to 1/8. So 0.125 as a fraction is 1/8. And all we did was put it over 100, or not over 100, sorry, over a multiple of 100, and then reduce that down. Right, so then our second one is 11.42, and we're going to write that as a mixed number. So we know 11 is in front of the decimal, so it is the number that's not part of the fraction. And then 42 is over 100, because the 2, the last number in it, is in the 100th position. So we have 11 over 42. And the 42 over 100 needs to be reduced. And 42 over 100 reduces down to 21 over 50. We did all the math. I'm saving this from all the math, so you already know how to do all that. So then our final answer is 11/21 over 50. So again, all we did was take the number in front of the decimal is our whole number, and then we put the number after the decimal over a multiple of 10, depending on where it is. The last number is its place value, and then reduce that fraction down and put it back with our whole number. All right, so then the next is, how do we take a fraction and turn the fraction back into a decimal? All right, so we have 1/4. We know is 4 divided by 1. 4 divided by 1 is 0.25. So then if they gave us the fraction 1/3, we would divide 3 into 1. It's 0.333, and it keeps going. And then remember from the last lesson, since it's repeating, 3 is the repetend, so we can put 0.3 repeating. And we do the same thing. We have, say 7/4 we need to write as a fraction. We would divide 4 into 7. Or sorry, as a decimal, it's already a fraction. So we divide it out and we get 1.75. And then what would we do if they gave us 3 4/5? We want to put that into a decimal. We're going to have to convert that into an improper fraction, and it's going to be 19/5. We can then divide that out, and we would get 3.8. So turning a fraction into a decimal, we would just divide the denominator into the numerator and get our answer. If it's repeating, we would put the repeating sign over the repetend. If it is a mixed number, we convert it into an improper fraction, divide that out, and we would get our decimal that way. All right, and then the last is a percent to a decimal. So we have, first one's going to be 75%. And we know that percents are over, it's out of 100. So it's going to be 75 over 100. We divide that out. It's 0.75. Next one we'll try is 5%. 75 over 100. We divide that out. We get 0.05. And then our last one will have 7.5%, which we know that a half, we divide that out as 0.5. So 1/2 equals 0.5. So it's actually 7.5%. And we will put 7.5 over 100 and divide that out and get 0.075. All right, so just a review, if we write a decimal number as a fraction, we put it over its smallest number's place value. So it would be, we have the tenths, hundreds, thousands. So this one went over 1,000, divided out and got our answer. If we had a decimal, we want to write it as a mixed number. The numbers after the decimal, again, go over whatever their place value is. So it's 42 over 100. And then we would reduce that fraction down to get our final answer. So if there's actually not a number, well, it was a mixed number, never, so sorry. And then the next is a fraction as a decimal. We divide the denominator into the numerator. If it's repeating, we make sure that we have its repeating sign. If we start out with a mixed number, we flip it to an improper fraction and divide the improper fraction out. And then percents to decimals, we put the percent over 100 and then divide it out. And if it has a fraction with it as a percentage, we put the fraction into a decimal first and then add it to our whole number and to put that over 100 and divide that out. And that is all for lesson 43.